Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's topic discusses something that causes a lot of emotions, debate, and a lot of noise. The topic is immigration. Specifically talking about immigration without alienating the immigrants in your country. The idea being talking about problems with immigration without dehumanizing the actual migrants. There are a lot of problems with different immigration policies across different countries, but dehumanizing the immigrants instead of questioning the policies is something that we should avoid. Immigration impacts housing, infrastructure, and public welfare in a lot of different ways. But the problem is when we discuss about it, we end up pointing fingers at the immigrants instead of the government who is actually making the policies which is potentially making the situation worse. The idea is point out flaws with the system instead of finger pointing the immigrants who came in as part of that system. People have a right to have a well-managed system, but often the call for it leads to finger pointing on the immigrants instead of the actual policies and issues which is causing this problem. One of the biggest questions is whether the immigrants are burdening the healthcare system. Let's look into the facts pertaining to this. The data shows that the recent migrants use Medicare system way less compared to the locals. The reason being the migrants are usually young, and as part of their immigration process, they already undergo a health check, failing which they won't get the visas. Last but not least, because of certain cultural barriers, they tend to access the healthcare way less than the locals. Even long-term migrants start using healthcare at the same rate as the native as they age. Not in the beginning. Here's another common question. Are the migrants giving a lot less than what they're taking back? This again does not seem to be true because of the following facts. Skilled migrants are usually employed at high-paying jobs. They pay the same Medicare levy as the natives, but they use the public welfare system way less. So the idea that they take more than they actually give seems far-fetched, because definitely a skilled migrant, once they come into this country, are paying more into the system than taking out of it. I just spoke about skilled migrants, but people often bring up the topic of refugee migrants. Well, yes, they could potentially be burdening the system a little bit more, but their percentage is extremely low to even matter. And the same people often end up being powerful contributors in various sectors within the new country. Now the question comes down to where does the real pressure lie? What is causing burdening of the systems in place? Is it truly migrants? And if not, what it is? As I've discussed with the points before, the amount of burden that skilled migrants and refugees put on the system is way less than it is brought out to be. The real culprits in the whole issue are poor planning, lack of infrastructure projects, and poor coordination between the federal and the state policies of a given country. Blaming migrants for these issues actually divides us more instead of bringing us together for a common cause. It's okay to question whether the system is keeping up with the population growth, but instead of asking, are immigrants the problem? We should ask, how can we scale infrastructure better? Are our visa programs meeting our workforce needs? What support do we communities need to adapt? How can we plan for a future growth responsibly? Immigrants are not just a statistic. There are the nurses, doctors, engineers, delivery drivers, and a major chunk of our workforce. They didn't cause the housing crisis. They didn't underfund the hospitals, and they're not to blame for the policy mismanagement. We can talk about migration numbers without alienating them and calling them the threat to our system. We can call for better system without blaming them. And we can all benefit when the conversation is informed, respectful, and focused on solutions, not scapegoats. Thanks a lot for sticking to the end of this video. And if you liked it, do hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more such takes on complex topics. Have a great day. Bye.